Dr. Bernard Okoe Boye is back on the line. Doc, akwa baby you.
Yeah, Obi, Mamenda.
Aha, Tiaferi, how many more? How many more? And my first question is, are you hurt? Are you yase welusu?
Well, Obi, I think on one hand, I'm not hurt and I have it that much. But on the other hand, you have a few concerns. The first one is that when you are an MP, there are some main functions out there from. The first one, legislation, and
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
If you go into an election and you become the MP, you do advocacy to speak on issues with people. The most important one is service, to serve them, to help them in ways that remember that when you also go into the elections, over a task of winning more hearts for your tradition or the government so that they stay in power or get into power. And the last one is to make sure that your leader, the head of your government, the president, gets the opportunity to serve as long as possible, and in this case, a second term. You know, even if you don't get declared as the winner, you can do close to 4 out of these 5 items.
Yeah.
You can still do advocacy, you can do service, you can get more votes for your tradition, you can also help to get your leader reinstated. I think outcome of this election is only the first one and an echo of which is the legislation to ticket in parliament. But all the others, I'm happy that we put some 50,000 platforms to add to the, how do you call it, the national...
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Remember, I always tell my people, I say, John the Baptist and Christ, with all the things he was doing, people felt, say, he was the desire, and he told them that he's preparing way for Christ and Christ. And that's what MPs we do. All we go up and down. The ultimate aim is not necessarily a seat, but to also make sure that the president comes. But in terms of me personally, results, no. Obi, the Ledzokuku seat, to be honest with you, is like a safe seat somewhere up north or in Volta for the NDC.
Yeah.
Look, they always, when they win the margins of 10,000 black.
Yeah.
2008, they won with a margin of 10,000, both presidential and parliamentary. In 2012, they won with a margin of 13,000, both parliamentary and presidential.
Mm-hmm.
In 2016, by the grace of God, we closed the gap 13,000 and won with just about 2,000 votes.
Yeah.
So many factors came together to make sure that happened. A lot of hard work.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
There are internal party issues, national issues, our strength as a party and our program, a lot of them. Now, even with that, John Dramani Mahama won with about some 1,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine it. So I knew from day one, that's why I started working, running everywhere, that so many things must be right before you to retain the seat. And the results are by 2020, Achel said, you see, I got about 54,000.
Mm-hmm.
He had about 55,100 votes. Less than our 1,800. But if you look at the president, but yet so, in my judgment, in terms of social programs, national number, even with President Ayama Ledzokuku, with all the Letman Road, the landing beach, JM had 59,000, President had about 50,000 votes. Now, close to 8 or something thousand difference. It tells you, say, this is a seat, honestly, there are a lot who vote on other lines apart from performance and their personality, their way. You know, so
really, Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
I'm not too surprised. Say there are still some who go and vote umbrella. They don't care what is the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I mean, I'm being honest with you. Less than 5% of the population who voted for the NDC candidate have met him or know what is in it. If Anka, I'm contesting Obi all around crowd, make you say Obi, why interact with Obi, I'm a more impactful. But I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They had a deliberate strategy to keep him indoors, not to let anybody get to know the kind of person he is. Because when he speaks, I mean, even those who want to go to the umbrella will go like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So really, no, I just thank God, say, I mean, I can still serve. Monday, I'll be going to Lekman Hospital. I've booked a lot of people for consultation. The things I do, I enjoy them because when you serve human beings, there's reward you get within. They call it intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
And there's reward you get after life. And these are the things that push some of us. So it will not take a seat or life without a seat to do those things. Yeah.
That's interesting. And for you, not just from the get-go, since you were sworn into office on 7 January 2017, no, you knew, sir, it was always going to be difficult to maintain the seat. Now,
yes, I knew, Obi. I knew because I know the statistics. I know that if you watch, there were close to 7,000 or so people who went to vote for JM because it was NDC lead, but swung to my side. Now,
that's true.
Anywhere I go, I had a deliberate strategy not to appear alone on any poster, banner, or any program. I always carried the president along because I knew someone said, like I said, some safe seat somewhere in voter or not, where they will go like they are here, not for some very convincing reasons. So I had an objective to make sure that I reduce the gap. I GM, and NDC, DPT, presidential. So with all the efforts, I reduced the gap to about 7,000 to 8,000 between Mahama and the president. If we had not made those efforts, I mean, like I said, 2012 it was 13,000.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
As long as I know, JM was not doing anything impactful in the community. So by default, they are going with whoever NDC brings in the tens of thousands in terms of lead. So I had that objective. Look, there are people who said, Doctor, okay, bring your banners. We want to see you alone. I said, no way. Nobody, no branch survives without the vine.
The vine.
And I'm happy to say we succeeded in getting significant votes for our presidential candidate. As for mine, I knew many things. Look, Obi, there are other internal issues and no idea I discussed with fear.
Yeah.
Some of the things are as Yankasa as a family, MPP, in terms of maybe a position the MOB. I was on Konusumboa, I open other interests. No, free say Dr. Kobo or Prano, Obehono na ebia or na adverse effect. Those ones in house, we will sit down as a firm and look at them. But like I said, there are some seats in Ghana. So many things must come together for us to move on. But I have faith, say, in the future,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM,
we can continuously do a lot of hard work, work on thousands of our own people, so that they don't behave like my old mother. I never 3 years. My mother on the NDC strong. Maybe they can't come out only the reasons, of so I knew the issues and the problems in a place like Ledzokuku.
Yeah.
Say they have a default inclination to some particular side, and it will take years of hard work. It will take a lot of relationship relating to them, and like the Israelites when they rebelled, when Moses went away to Canaan, God told them, say, you this generation, you will not enter the promised land. Because of Tena Yarizum from Ukraine. So with my people, I know, say, by the time we get some generation It will be a generational, and I'm happy. That's why I'm happy and passionate about free education. I was a liberal as a child.
Yeah.
I questioned my mother, why are you following people? Because of school. Because I was being taught
on Asempa FM.
to appreciate reasons before taking a decision. But with time, many of my people will not just go and say, I am here. They will also ask questions. Why do we go here? And that is when, together, we will have a system where the output, the outcome, is based on what went in and not default setting.
Okay, and the other thing is you are still a young politician. Is it over a relationship with Ledzokuku, and now say you stage a comeback?
Obi, some of us, politics in India, it is the service that gives us contentment. And like I said, luckily, you don't need to be in parliament to serve. Either service at the national level, service in my own. Look, I have a foundation, a 60 plus foundation, which is supposed to help the 60 plus or more elders. Anything I do for them when I go to sleep, I am happy. Anytime I take care of people at the hospital, someone look,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
This is a surgery need. Was signed the chair by Lekma because he needs 100 or 500 Ghana to do the labs for the surgery. If I get opportunity to meet this guy and I make the surgery happen, this is the thing that brings joy. Obi, the pressure 200, 110 or 90 womb. The only reason is I cannot afford upload it. If Oba Nami will box is Nami the Mano and he stays alive 5 more years, that's the joy. So really, it is when you have some funny motive. Say, oh, quack of parliament, not through a no sabi. Why you nipa and now why you be beer and without parliament you never do. That's when we think in our pile. But for me, my aim was to help get a Dankwa Busia Dombo tradition in office as long as possible, so that we can operate to impact more lives. And luckily, by the grace of God, the 4 more has happened. I know we have another 4 years to impact more lives. And it is the impartation that makes the ground fertile for a change in the attitude and orientation of people who vote by default setting. I'm confident. I know I can say
on Asempa
default
FM.
setting made a lot of us lose the coasters. Otherwise, it would have been so. But it takes hard work, patience, and relationship to bring back someone who is default set to the other side to come to our side. We will continue working hard. How can I leave them? They are my people. I always tell them, Sebi, someone from the north can come and change your setting and your environment. We who come from there, irrespective of the orientation of our people, it is we. Look at this Lekma Road. Obi, the advocacy and the work is to make sure that in our town where we were born, we too have a highway that makes us look like a community that is modern. Are you going to say because your people can go in a particular direction, you don't do advocacy? You continue. Teenage pregnancy is a problem at my place. Are you going to say because the people can act in a way, you leave them? Who will do that? It takes a lot of understanding
Asempa
to
FM.
advocate. If your people, for some reason, will act in a way and the outcome is adverse, how can you leave them? You stay with them. You can help to change. So you don't go anywhere.
Ekosiisen on Asempa
Yeah, I get you.
FM.
I get you. I mean, the bottom line is Dr. Okoe Boye has not given up on Ledzokuku. He might possibly in the near future stage a comeback.
But Obi, let me clearly say, what has happened along the coast from Tema East to Krowo to Ledzokuku,
Ladane Kotopon, Odododio.
tells you that there is a bigger assignment for we who belong to the downfall in the Dankwa Busia community. Honestly, that is the kind of job I want to take on. Because I told you my mother was a strong ending.
Yes.
I knew what made her behave like that. to change it, it doesn't take
Asempa
very
FM.
fine economic performance. If you are not careful, you can even build a solid building and take the person's child to Harvard, and they can still behave in a particular way. We who are from there know that you have to get so close and relate so well for them to know that we mean well. And for me, that is the assignment I want to take on, so that our down folks will come to appreciate that the Dankwa Buja tradition does not belong to some particular people. It is for all of us.
Ekosiisen
And
on
it is when
Asempa FM.
we take active participation and push our own that we can get more from the table. This mindset that for us, we have no table there. And so we wouldn't push our own. It's only an exercise in self-destruction. And we who belong to the Gulf cannot sit back for it to happen. So the job starts now. We get closer to them, ask them in the face, why are you going that way? And address them. And together we can solve it.
I remembered the last time I think Mini would be in Como in studio, and you made the point about how critical Lekma Road was to the people of Ledzokuku, and the fact since independence, fisher folks one project I know musuhu the landing beach, and okay say those two projects here project awaye ama won, and I say what lobby ama omonsa aka, ain't the people will look at that, and I think that's where you coined that very, very emotional phrase. It is not about your. I think you said something. My name is Okaya.
Yeah.
It is not about your dear Ben. It is the message, and it is not about your. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And you were very, very certain. Say these two projects might be the game changing project. But I say, Mamusa, why do you think, despite this, the people still, is it the default certain thing you talk about?
Yes, Obi. Yeah, is the default. Now, discussing it is complex.
Yeah.
Because when you mention a certain issues, one cannot be, as we say, you have said, that you'll be
absolutely
in terms of the composition and on the site.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can see is I knew, for Ghana people, yes, and I know, over to me, you can build a lot of houses for a Ghana man or a Ghana woman if you don't take time to relate well.
Mm-hmm.
A Ghana was chairman, and look how now you see their ourselves.
Yeah.
Asempa
FM. So really, I knew our chances was very good because of those projects, because they were the two most important projects in the history of the community.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
I guess what you say, we can say, during the COVID time, we are seeing COVID though. Festival, now we are make the exemption.
I'm festival.
On the streets in the thousands.
Yeah, interesting. It was my next question for you, because Larry Dogbe had the message about, and he was hinting at that point, say just maybe a cause defeat. No, do you agree?
Obi, imagine, but it will tell you how complex the community is.
Yes.
When we are in COVID times, and going out in huge crowds can cause trouble.
Yes.
Can lead to death, illness, and death that spread. Festival no mukano. Festival. I take active participation.
Yeah.
You have people in the thousands, at least maybe 10 to 15,000 running. Everybody bumper to bumper. That's how we celebrate it. But there are other elements of the festival, like soccer, like going to traditional homes, like do other things. I gave them tradition items I did celebrate this festival, like maize, palm, sika, so that all the others are observed, except for the huge crowds. Now, guess what?
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Elders, the whole community, and the regional security got transit. Regional, I think the regional, is it the coordinating council?
Mm-hmm.
And they told them those activities they were more or less COVID compliant. And are the ones that they should do well to avoid. And they stated, say, as for the carnival which goes in the thousands, that one should be pushed to next year. They should not do it. But visiting traditional home, visiting the gods, is the football. And guess what? The soccer too, which is the football. Every year, myself, I play. Me Bobby, my old former footballer.
Yeah.
So I met all the youth groups, even gave them money like I do to prepare themselves for the festival. Almost your doctor, he had himself, I buy my festival, and I because I told them, say, Okoe Easter, Yanye, Nungwa, Wambo football. They normally celebrate for us. Also, they know all that, but still, let's celebrate. So really, I made them understand that I don't determine whether you celebrate a festival. I even went to the extent of telling them, look, if you go and celebrate this, and there is any issue, will be apprehended. I'll come and beg for you. But begging for you might not solve all the problems. So you can imagine the complex nature of my people. And you know what? I think, like I said, Tanamika about a few internal issues. I think there were some instructions from some courts. Celebrating the night. Some police went to apprehend some and all that. And later they resisted. I know my people. Maybe if I didn't know anything about it, maybe if I are against, we'll find very tactful ways because I know them. They are my people. And only MPI elect you. Once Okoe Boye see. In fact, there was talk in town say route van ne come no. Me na inside I miss space you share. So I know my people.
Yeah.
If you get everything right, Obia said on peonu, Obetimi throw something into the air. And there are people who are looking for things to run with. So that's why I said on one leg, I'm not surprised. And then on another leg, I'm surprised that with all that the president did. Look, Obi, Nyama said the meeting president. Everything famous.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Meaning can't let Nana Boye. Now it's Namako landing beach. I told him, Nana, my people say if you do the landing beach for them, to their third generation, they will support you. I say, doctor, I will help you. We'll do. So after all this, if you do such a thing, when we go to do our advocacy, irrespective of our narration and our presentation, it becomes tougher for us. Now, like I said, once they are my people, whatever it is some of us, because we come from there, we must help to change the situation over time so that they become a people who look at people's output and go in a line and not do things by default.
And Sadia Wakano, I mean, it will be a huge tax. Say, Obeshe, the guns along the coast and make sure, say, consciously you work on that mindset issue to move them from being in that default mode, into a mode that they will look at issues before they take a decision. And is it something you can do alone? And I say you would need the support of all the other gangs within the NPP.
Obi, as a party, in the medium wage, sir. But I think the gang caucus in the party.
Asempa FM.
Now, any opportunity, we express some things we think. And to work on the psyche of a government, it doesn't take 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
You must start early. You must get closer. You must relate. And sometimes I sit by them for hours, 7-8 hours. We don't talk. And they start telling things. We thought you were this. Or why did you do this? And it can be very strange things. But you need to have that patience.
Yeah.
Look, when they were doing the collation, I was my own agent. When it was a bar, I would say, one shot, I could be beaten narrowly.
Mm-hmm.
Me I don't go for the say, maybe I'll come from food. Why is only my dear? They say, you're 4 only my dear fire. In that, the PR also debate. Yeah, still cut this direction. No, Obisaka. Who's shine on our Maiska? Who's shine on you, my motor?
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
You know, so, like I'm saying, when a government, for by default setting of own reason, wants to go in a particular direction, Obi, man, look, even your goodness can be a problem. And if you know us, you should not be forever maybe angry and hurt. But the same person or children better about say, Charlie, number one.
Yeah.
And same they see. Oh. Yeah. And I think I've mentioned gas. I think let me be fair. We also have, for some reason, if you look at the population mix, we have a significant. I think the gas population is almost the same as, let's say, our brothers and sisters from Volta.
Okay.
So when I became a candidate in 2015, I spent a lot of time, did a lot of work to also relate to them and to let them know, say, the Dankwabusia tradition means well and Okoe Boye means well. So I was able to win a lot of people from spin test. We have a lot of our brothers there who work in the factories. I did a lot of work, and those huge margins normally mine is, a form. Unfortunately, this time, registration, most of them couldn't go back.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Do this by medical outreach, sit amongst them, make a case. Most of those places, and then 1 hour visit only change you.
Yeah.
You must sit by, just like my own folks from the coast. So really, the default setting, was big. I'll be honest with you. Looking at how the numbers came, there's about 30 or so % of the population looked at output and what is happening and all that. And with time, we can change some of these things.
Doc, my young wish so well. I mean, I want to ask, sir, because on the 6th of January 2021, this 7th Parliament will be dissolved. And swearing in will be done on the 7th of January 2021. Unfortunately, you will not be part of the 8th Parliament. But then I'll be miss. But what would you miss from the 7th Parliament?
Well, Obi, one thing I realized is in Parliament, people from all backgrounds help in the discussions and debates. So I remember there have been occasions when Obi won't say, "Let me very well." Now I'm making comments here in medicine,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
It's not a fact, but or based on layman and the origin, you get the opportunity to bring things from my field, or my background into perspective. And sometimes you get your colleagues to appreciate why a particular law or policy matters so much because of the health impact. So that is one thing whilst once I'll not be there, I'm happy to say at least there are some politicians who also get to good parliament. The other one also is the role I had in my as young ones. Sometimes the leaders me frail. Say, no, come, look at this, read around it. Today, if Omo release me Sabia, you handle them. And then work of prepare. Now Jumana
Asempa FM.
Boss. Say Jumano, here. Upo anawa kono ti ni kama na nkahani and there was thing. So that mentoring, any year building confidence, it's a nice experience. Now let me say, sir, I'm happy that
Asempa FM.
Like I say, His Excellency the President is getting another 4 years, so that there's still an opportunity for us to impact more lives and change a lot of default setting. Because if you look at the job this president has done, Obi, if a net default setting now, we should not be, honestly, being around 51, struggling to get a majority. It tells you there are so many issues. It's a combination of default setting and local party issues.
Yeah.
And we will go back to the table, we learn, we pick up our pieces, and we come back stronger. Yeah.
Hopefully in 2020.
But there is one position, I don't know, once Asempa exists, Nobody can take it away.
David. Official government spokesperson, I know there.
You are still talking to the official government spokesperson.
The official government spokesperson. Nobody can take that away. Doc, we wish you well. I know and I believe strongly, sir, in 2024, God willing, you would stage a comeback and win that seat and continue your good work for your people. Yeah, that's it.
Obi.
Yes.
Bible says, as the heavens are as distant from the earth, so I thinking and waiting
on Asempa FM.
For today, it looks like a setback. But if only you can see the end, you start celebrating today. So some of us, we are happy to say we follow Christ and we are always in a good mood.
Larry Dogbe said, on a lighter note, Obi, ask Doc, what lotto numbers are dropping this weekend? Larry Dogbe, so there. Larry, yeah. Doc, that's in. We expect you in studio one of these days. Why? Also.
That's quite
also.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a Dr. Bernard Okoe Boye, Member of Parliament, Ledzokuku constituency, Deputy Health Minister of the Republic of Ghana, bringing